Hi, everyone. I'm still terrified to use the countdown feature. I'm gonna add Rachel. Rachel, you ready? I got a thumbs up.
Hey,
Hey, Rachel. Get us adjusted
hello
here.
everyone.
Actually, we don't even need the overhead quite yet. Wow, it feels like a while. I don't know where to click currently. I don't know how to do a class. Haven't done that in
It's
like
been a
a month.
minute.
It's
Haven't
been
done
a
that since
long.
last year.
Ah, everyone just imagine the really fun countdown.
I know, I kind of miss it.
I know. I'm like, wait,
Should we do it anyway?
because usually Rachel and I are like, alrighty, here we go. Almost class time. It's almost class time. Here we go. Alrighty, now it's class time. Welcome to our first class of the year.
Welcome.
Happy New Year, Rachel.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, it's been like a lovely break. I got to Bead a bit during the break, which was nice. But then I also just fully took a break. And as I was prepping for this class, I just got excited over so many different ideas.
Oh, I'm
Just
interested to see some of your ideas.
I had to tamper down a little bit because I grabbed I have a whole bin of beads right behind this computer. And I was like, so many things I could do with this design. I have about 20 ideas. But I gave myself a little bit of a parameter, and I said, okay, Sam, you haven't designed a lot with the December box yet. Use that as the primary beads, or maybe the only beads.
Oh,
So I started laying out, and I already have some ideas just from the December box beads that I'm really excited to put this together. So what Rachel and I are doing today is we're revisiting an old class not even that old, a class from last year that Rachel had come up with called Rachel's lace necklace design. I'm gonna add your
mm-hmm.
overhead, Rachel, if you want to show it.
Okay.
There we go.
It doesn't do well when I lift it. So it's a combination of wire work and stringing to create almost like a lace collar.
So pretty. Do you remember how we originally came to this project? Were we thinking about daggers? Were we thinking, what
I
was our original
think
idea?
I think it was daggers that I wanted to do a project with the daggers. And um then I ended up coming up with this and I was like, okay, so it's not really about the daggers, but you're really gonna like it.
But it features them really in a nice way.
Yeah.
And I also love how accessible this felt because it's a really simple wire technique. And then it's just strung. So it doesn't require a ton of technical skill. And all the technique that is needed for it, we're going to go over again in today's class anyway.
Oh, it's so easy. It's so fun too. It's really versatile.
So Rachel's going to show us the basic technique, especially based on the wire components being the main one. And then my idea for today, since we're revisiting it, is that Rachel and I are each going to try to put our own spin on it. I don't know if I told you this part, Rachel.
I caught a little bit of your live last night, so I was like, okay, I think I know what he wants to do.
I realized I don't think I told you that piece. So if Rachel's up for it, I figured we could take this design and then each come up with our own little variation on it. Because I remember when I did it, I only used maybe 5 of the copper links as just one piece of the design, and then I have kind of another idea today. So I'm curious what we can do to kind of evolve this design and make it feel like in something like it's a new thing based on the technique we already have.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have like an idea now. I need to figure out where the bead I'm thinking of is, but
We'll give you time.
I was like looking for it, and then you're like, let's go live.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited about this one because this was a project a lot of folks tried out when we did the class the first time.
There were so many. I was so excited.
And that's always like a really nice thing to see after a class, that folks are like really like enjoying it and like the idea of the design. Um, so I hope we can re-inspire with this design and maybe give some new ideas for it. Oh my gosh, Lori says, this is ridiculous. She said, I'm glad it doesn't require a lot of technical skill. Maybe I can do it then.
Lori says this, but I've seen her do every single class project and she does an amazing job.
Yeah, Lori's been beading for a year or less, I believe, and has taken up seed beading, wire work, stringing, and like doing amazing things. If you like every single piece you share, Lori, in Gem Chat
It looks
is
great.
so beautiful. That whole treble and bass clef, what? Are you kidding me? So you don't give yourself enough credit. And I'm excited to see what you do with this piece, Lori. Alrighty, Rachel, do you want to take us through the basics of this project?
Sure. So what you're going to need is 18 gauge wire, and then you're obviously going to need like some sort of stringing wire to use. I usually use soft flex, which Sam has in the shop. And then you're going to need a ruler. You're going to need some cutters. I like flush cutters because then I don't have to worry about the edges. And round nose pliers. And so I guess let's just get started. So I've got my 18 gauge wire. I'm going to cut with my flush cutters to make the end flush. And then I'm going to cut a piece that's 1.5 inches long. And then for the rest of my pieces, I'm going to use the piece that I've already cut to measure them, because then I can get them all the same size. I feel like even if I use a ruler every time, it never ends up being the same.
Right.
Unless
this
I
is like
do it this
measuring
way.
chain against chain.
Yeah. You just got to account for the human error, the first one, and use it to measure the rest of them.
Right. And then I always find there's some adjustment once we get to the next step, but we'll get there.
So I think I'm going to do like 5. Oh,
You
you're also going to need
18?
either, this is 18 gauge wire.
Already.
You're also going to need either like a Sharpie, a pen, or bail making pliers. What on earth?
So this is kind of step one. We're making our horseshoes that are then going to be our little focal point of the necklace. Would you actually keep the necklace maybe like the corner so we can kind of, it's fun to see
It
the
is
end
in the
result.
corner. I kind of balled it up in the corner, but
Beautiful. We get to see it. We just get to admire your beautiful work now.
Thank you. So this
I was shocked.
I saw.
Oh, it's been a second. Please.
Usually I let the other person go first, but I'll go first. I
Please
saw
do.
a post a few weeks back where you were asking for feedback on the bead boxes, and a lot of people were saying they didn't like dagger beads. So this is a great project for the daggers.
Yeah, that post has been so helpful. I've only read through maybe half of it so far. There was some, I was not expecting the tidal wave of feedback, and it's been so awesome to see how engaged everyone and like willing everyone is to help make the bead box better.
So if you haven't seen that post,
give me more to read.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's been really helpful. I don't remember. That was so 2 minutes ago. Truly could not tell you. Oh, I don't think this was it, but I have something fun. But I want to make sure you feel like you've gotten to explain the technique before I
okay,
get to
so it's not relevant. All right, cool.
Hey, it's fun, but not relevant.
Okay, so once you have these pieces, you can either get your Sharpie or your bail making pliers. If you're using a Sharpie, I like to set things in the groove to help me. And then you're going to bend the ends up. I'm going to use my bail making pliers because that's what I used before. So you're just gonna bend the ends up and try to get it to where they're kind of lined up evenly. I like to use 18 gauge wire because I don't think that the 20 gauge would just hold it as well.
And are you
It's
are
a
you,
little too malleable.
is it important to keep both sides of these 1.5 inch pieces as a flush cut?
Well, we're going to be bending them over to make little loops, and as I'm sure you've encountered with cheap jump rings versus more expensive jump rings, it doesn't make a difference if they're cut flush for loops. Things slip out easier if they're not cut flush, and especially depending on what kind of beading wire you're going to be using. If there's a little gap there and you're using like fine saw flex, it could slip through.
Mm,
So
that's a great
I
point.
like for everything to be flush. Plus, that way it makes that the edges are going to be more even. Okay. I'm just going to do that for the rest of them. I've only got 5 here, so it should just take me a second.
I'm
Make a
still
little
cutting my
horseshoe.
wire. You're so quick. So my fun story is um, my flush cutters went missing, which is probably a good thing because they were terrible at this point, but they were flush cutters and they were my only good pair of flush cutters. So they at last went missing. It's definitely possible that the bead fairy just said, no more. We are done with this. These need to disappear. So before this class, I was like, okay, I'll just go. Since I don't have obviously a sec, I didn't think ahead to like order some for myself. I stopped over at Michael's, which had a cardboard sign that said, "We're closed. Sorry."
Oh, a
I was like,
cardboard sign.
that can't be good. That sounds like a last minute something's going on. That doesn't sound good. Um, but I was like, oh shoot, I really would like. I'm hating my crap cutters that I have that are not flush. They make everything so much worse. And
Yeah, it really does make a difference.
oh my gosh, I have like the longest ends to tuck in. It's like I was all of Neelay's workshop. I just could not. I was spending so long tucking wire ends. And I got fed up. So I was still very determined to get flush cutters for this because I really wanted to beat something that I hopefully can wear tonight. And I saw Home Depot across the way, and I was like, maybe. And I went in, and they actually had, which I guess I just don't know Home Depot, but they had options, and I got a couple.
Oh, they
And
had flash cutters there?
yeah, they
That's
had,
surprising.
right here. Let me. So I got 2 different ones. This was the Klein ones was in the electrical department, and this
Okay.
says it can cut up to 16 gauge. And they so it's what I've been working right now for the 18 gauge. And then in the hardware department, they had some Crescent cutters. I haven't heard of either of these brands. This is not an endorsement. These say they can cut up to 20 gauge, and they also came with these. And look how pointy these flat nose are.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very excited to like be able to tuck ends with those. New toys are fun, Rachel. Very
Yes.
fun.
Yes, I need a new pair of flush cutters. I see Neelay with his, and I'm so jealous.
Wait, Shira said, I know Neely has the nicest tools.
I
Shira said,
know.
you know there's a Michael's in Alameda, right? Through the tunnel to the right. No, not a clue. I only know about the 40th Street one. Not a clue. That's funny. Alrighty, where are you
Okay.
at with the
So
horse?
once you've got your little horseshoes, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna bend the wires back into loops so that they almost look, you can't really see the loop from one side. And then we're gonna do the other side. And you can straighten them if you want.
I forgot how fun these are to make.
They're so easy. They're so versatile.
I'm remembering the
And
challenge that I remember from last time is centering when you're bending over the round nose is centering the wire.
mm-hmm.
I remember having some loss because of that. But so far, now that I'm actually paying attention to it, it's going fine. Angela says this is one of her favorite necklaces. So fun to make. Have you made it multiple times since the class, Angela? I like the idea of like some of these class designs living on, like beyond the class, Rachel.
Yes, I love it. Well, you see, Jill has been posting cluster earrings and
I saw
we did that
them.
in I mean December was only last month, but was it in December or was it in
No, she
November?
just posted those. Oh, the
No,
class
I
was
mean
in.
the class.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I couldn't tell you. Last year. So last year. Oh my gosh, mine are coming out so symmetrical. This is so satisfying. Wow. I'm shocked. I don't remember
Every
them
time I
coming
do
out
this
this well
project,
last
it
time.
makes me want to buy new round nose pliers.
Oh, to make your loops.
I don't think the edges of I think mine are two different sizes on the the
That is a thing. Oh my god, mine totally are.
like I think they don't look super like it, but I think they are.
No, mine, I just looked at mine. Mine are noticeably different sizes. Whoa.
And if you distort it at all, you can come back in with your whatever you shaped it with and squish it. Oh no, I forgot that I wanted to slide a bead on there. That was my trick. That was gonna
Wait.
be my. Now I'm gonna have to do more.
Let's see. Oh, so your idea of how you want to evolve is you're gonna actually string a bead onto
Yeah,
each
I
loop.
wanted to put a. I have these beads that I think I got from you. They're Red Creek and they have big holes, so they would be perfect.
Ooh, oh,
And
that's smart.
but I also don't know which box they're in.
So now that we've kind of gone over the basic technique of the horseshoe, because that's essentially our component we're going to string on. I'm going to propose although I haven't figured out how I'm going to evolve it yet, but I have figured out the beads that I want to use.
Okay.
So I'm going for the browns and greens of, excuse my kitchen towel. I'm at home today. I was making do. So I really like the look of these browns and greens together. So somehow these are all going to mix together.
Ooh.
And I really like the idea of hanging things like from these horseshoes. I was thinking like little dangles could be pretty. Where is all the light? But and then there's one more emerald item is these cathedrals I thought could be really pretty
That's
mixed
so
in as
funny because
well.
I was thinking of using emeralds, the little emerald chips. I
Ooh,
was
like
like, I could
actual
use that,
emerald.
yeah, in between the little.
Actually, the idea I had in the car was if I was really feeling energetic is what if I had like wire wrapped seed beads to the horseshoes.
Oh my gosh.
But now I just want to know if the seed beads have big enough holes, which I doubt. Yeah, they're not gonna. They're too. These are a 10 OC bead, so that's not gonna. No.
Not gonna go in there.
But wire wrapping would also be a lot. I don't know if I quite have the energy for it. But that was
Yeah,
one of
if
my
you were
ideas
gonna
of
wire
how.
wrap those, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I would do it after I looped it probably.
Right. Otherwise, I was thinking just some like little crystal accents of like of
Mm-hmm.
the Celsian crystals could hang from each little horseshoe as a little accent sparkle. These do have bigger holes, but I probably would have needed to put them on before I bent them so that they
I don't
could
think
go
you're
to
gonna
the
be able
bottom.
to, yeah.
Um,
Oh, that could
so
be
glad
a
I.
fun variation if you made them kind of rectangular.
What do you mean? Oh,
Like
if,
if
like
you,
change the shape of them.
yeah, you might need more wire for that.
That's a fun idea. You could kind of do that. Yeah, you could kind of do those with like a flat nose or like a any sort of like rectangular plier to make that shape and to keep it consistent.
Yeah. Oh, this is the box right here with my beads that I was thinking of.
Did you find the bead you wanted, Rachel?
I did. It was right here.
Which wait, I need to know what bead, what bead's been on
I
Rachel's
told
mind.
you. I told you
Oh, the red creek. You
with the
found it.
holes.
Oh yeah, those are
Yeah.
100% from me. Oh, I love that idea.
Now I gotta make some more.
Lori says wire wrapping seed bead.
Yeah,
Debbie
seed
said,
beads are even tinier than the itty bitties I like to wrap sometimes.
yeah, they're like 2 millimeters. Debbie said one crystal on each straight side would work too. Oh, that I don't put at the bottom. I will try that. See if I don't know if I have enough room to make my loops. Let's see. Like, oh, it like almost. I like the idea of it, but now I just want all of this covered in crystals. All right, there's
Everything
an
in
idea
crystals.
we're throwing out
That's what I
there. I don't
want.
think
Yeah.
I don't want to go backwards at this point because I'm determined to make this necklace. What's your grand scheme over there, Rachel?
I haven't really thought past putting these beads on the loop, if I'm being honest.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
But I'm thinking just like 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more.
And then I was thinking the pyrite could be a nice little for my strand. I was thinking either the pyrite for this strand of the necklace
Love
higher up,
pyrite always.
or some like rice beads with little seed beads as spacers. But to start, I'm just going to work on the focal center of the piece, and then I can always make that up later. Jill says you might like a wire frame around your focal, Sam. Like what are you imagining, Jill? My main idea was I was just going to hang it from one of the horseshoes to kind of make it feel cohesive, but there's definitely probably a million other ways I could do it. So I would love your ideas. I'm gonna turn some
Can
more
you
lights.
hear Oliver?
I thought that was just the sound of you drinking.
Of me breathing. He was supposed to be in jail.
Kitty jail. We're talking about
kitty
cats.
jail. Yeah, I'm talking about my cat. He always wants to play when I'm teaching. But that memo got lost in translation. He loves kitty jail, so don't feel bad for him. He loves that cage. He sleeps in it every night. He puts himself in there. I think he's just thrown in the room right now. He's so loud. Okay, this would work. Oh, I love that.
What?
Wow. The red creek on here, but I think I need to do one of the sets of loops first.
Here, what does it look like?
I will show you. Let me do this one loop so I can do the other loop.
So I feel like one option with this design is that you can, when we then go to string it up, we have the option of letting the stringing wire
Show through.
be, yeah, get to let it show through. So which is, I'm considering if I have a bunch of Softlex colors next to me. Otherwise, I would probably just fill it with some seed beads because I'm obsessed with all these seed bead colors from the box.
Yes. Let me see yours. I can't see.
What?
I said I want to see yours. I can't see.
I'm just starting to make my horseshoes. I'm trying to remember how to keep them even again. I think my round nose are different sizes because they totally got a little off, but I think that'll be workable. So Jill's idea is I could make a much larger horseshoe for like to go with
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
the drop. If I
You
make
could
a much
definitely vary the sizes of, I mean, just cut bigger than 1.5 inches. And then you probably need something bigger to wrap it around.
right, I like the idea of some wire showing behind the piece. That seems like a whole experiment. I'm gonna keep making horseshoes for now. I can see messages on here, but they don't show it as the original threads. We just see them individually. So sometimes the context is lost a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's definitely funny.
Let's see if I have
They're all threaded on Facebook, but then they.
All right, let's see. Go back over to Rachel for a bit. Ooh, the large hole beads are really fun on that.
Yeah.
We've got Pamela joining us. Hi, Pamela.
Probably some of the. I wonder if the dagger would have gone on here.
Alrighty. I want to, often when we have a quieter comment section, it means people are beating along, which
Oh yes,
I
we
would
want
make
to know
me
what you're
so
working
happy. So if you want to take a quick pause, let us know what's inspiring you right now. If you're doing this project, let us know what colors you're gravitating towards. And if you have any ideas how you want to evolve this design. My other idea, I think I was going to bed last night. I literally been thinking about this design for at least 24 hours, Rachel,
on.
nonstop. Is I wanted to have horseshoes connected to horseshoes. Like
I've tried to do that before, and I think that they would need to be a little bit bigger because initially when I was first designing this, that was kind of the direction I wanted to go in. And it was so frustrating. I was like, you know, I could probably make this work, but teaching this to people, I'm going to get frustrated.
Right. Because I love the idea of like having two and then figure out what size I need to then connect to put one in the middle of those two at the bottom of each. That just sounds fun.
I wonder if I could like. Ooh. Cool.
So we are using 18 gauge wires, Cecilia, for these horseshoe components, which by the way also work great on earrings. I think we did that in our last class maybe. And then we're going to be using.
I think you did.
Pretty much. Yeah, I feel like I did. I have some recollection of that. And then we're going to string this onto soft flex, and you can basically use whatever soft flex you want as long as it fits through your beads. I'll probably use a soft flex medium because that's they have the most colors in medium. Got a few colors of soft flex on the site right now, but it's looking like it's time for a refresh.
Yeah, I have the bone color next to me, which is really pretty. I don't know if you have that on the website right now.
I Yeah, I don't know it right
ones
now, but
tonight.
that bone one's beautiful. It's very versatile, just like a nice like cream tone. I've been into their like dark blues and reds lately.
Oh yeah, those are pretty.
They sent out a little holiday gift.
Oh,
And here's, I think this is, oh yeah, look, this one has bone, imperial topaz, dark blue lapis, and red coral. And
Pamela, we were cutting the wire 1.5 inches.
look at that blue color. I was immediately drawn to this like
Oh, that's
dark
pretty.
blue. Is that the lapis? Did I just say lapis?
I honestly don't remember.
I don't even see a label on that one. It was, yeah. Oh, so we've had this in the shop before. The lapis is gorgeous, deep blue. Already. This is one of those lovely meditative projects where you can just make as many of these as you want. You don't have to make as many. Rachel, there's a lot of that necklace there. I don't think I've ever
I think
processed.
there were like 30 on there.
That is such a
There's a
Rachel
lot.
Mallis decision.
Yeah, just kind of like a go with it. It's so funny because I used to read a lot of like jewelry tutorials back when they were bigger in magazines, and or there was this show on, I think it was like the DIY channel, and it was called Jewelry Making, and I would print out some of them and I would be like, oh, this has way too many steps, I'm not making this. And yet like anything I go to make has like 1 billion steps. I'm like, if I wrote this out, I would never want to make it.
Hey, I love your designs.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got a question from Wanda, because I think Pamela's question was answered. Wanda says, is there a reason you're making all the horseshoes instead of wrapping wire directly to your core wire using your veil making pliers to make consistent loops? Well, our core wire would essentially be the soft flex, if I'm understanding your question fully. So we're kind of making these components so that we can then put string on through these
and
loops.
They move. Yeah.
Oh, there's one piece you were mentioning to me about what you were observing about how this like necklace wears.
Oh, if you are going to make a whole necklace like this, I would add probably more seed beads in between the daggers, because the little lace likes to flip itself, which is not my favorite. I like things to be the exact way I intended them to be. So
That's fair.
That's one thing to note. Yeah.
Yeah. We were starting to talk about like possible ideas of what could be done. And obviously a nice one is if there's weight attached to the bottom of each one. I really feel like it would be more likely to stay downwards. If you hung something from it, that could help. I don't remember having that issue with the necklace I made, but I used a lot fewer. They were definitely more spaced out. So that point about putting more spacers between them actually could make a big difference.
Yeah, I think it's my daggers. The ones I use also, they taper inwards, so I think it would have definitely helped if I did it that way.
I haven't decided how many horseshoes I want. Okay, I've prepped 5, so I might as well just start doing something. I might experiment with Jill's idea for a moment. I love the idea of some sort of frame for this pendant.
Oh.
And it could be anything. It could be any sort of shape that it could kind of sit on. I like the idea of like a big teardrop or kind of maybe some sort of squiggly. It's kind of a fun, actually, I kind of like the idea of this squiggle. Just kind of, I feel like that would.
Squished mine.
What do you say?
Together. I just squished mine.
Wait, what does it look like squished? Did you just come up with something brand new and amazing, Rachel?
Well, because the bead moving around on it was bothering me, so I just squished it together, and now it's like this own little loop. So I
Maybe
think
give
I'm
us a
gonna play
close
with it
up.
like this.
I'm so Rachel, I'm in love. Oh my God.
I like
Wait,
it with the
it's so
bead
pretty.
squished, I think. Yeah.
Nicole, this actually isn't a seed beading project per se. We're just kind of
I
using
yeah,
them.
I don't all of my seed beads are mostly vintage, or vintage me, which would be like 15 years old. So I don't actually know what size any of them are. Um,
Yeah, I'm using 10-0 check seed beads, which are similar in size to 11-0, according to Danielle said. Um, but literally, this is the focus of the project is much more the component, and then you could string beads however you like. We probably will be putting seed beads. I think on that original piece are those seed beads you put in between on the string on the soft flex of the horseshoes, Rachel.
yes, these are not consistent in size at all. They're like, I think these ones are legitimately vintage. But they're like little tube seed beads. Seed bead is not my area of knowledge. I will be honest. I have very limited seed bead knowledge, but these are like little tubes. They're not consistent in size at all. I just kind of use them as accents usually. I'm very curious about some of the seed beading projects though. I want to learn how to make a like beaded bezel for cabochons.
Those are gorgeous.
I've been looking at projects for that. I just haven't really jumped into it. I guess I would have to get some like actual size seed beads for that though. I couldn't
Yeah,
just
you,
use
you would
whatever I
need.
felt like using.
Yeah, you would need some specific ones, but you could use something like these tenos that are in the bead box as a start. There's so many.
But that's true. I have those, and then I have the ones from the Dance of the Peacocks.
Yeah.
I think that was the name
Oh,
of it.
or the love to the mamas, like those amethysty ones.
Oh, I have those too. Yeah, actually, maybe it wasn't the peacock ones. Did the peacock one have sea beads or no?
No, I don't believe so.
Wait, I think it did. I don't know. I don't make the bead box, so I don't know. I could look. I could look.
I don't think it does.
Is this it? No, this is. That's gonna be more effort than it's worth right now.
Rachel trying to prove a point.
Yeah, I like to be right.
Folks, I got a couple comments on YouTube. We don't intentionally miss comments. We're just both actively beating as we're leading this class. So uh, if we missed your question, just let us know again. We do see all comments, or we should be seeing all comments from Facebook and YouTube.
Yes, I'm sorry. So the question is, what tool did I use to make the horseshoe components? I use my bail making pliers, but you could totally use like a Sharpie or a pen too. I use the biggest loop on these Beadsmith bail making pliers. But like I said, a Sharpie would totally work. I love Sharpies more than pens because they have this groove where the cap meets the marker, and it's perfect for fitting wire into there. If you go back and watch our class on beaded hoop earrings where we wrapped around them, I love to use the Sharpie for that.
Well, I sort of made up a frame. I don't know if I love it just because of how I did it, but I
Let
did
me
do
see.
it. Okay, I'm finishing it up. Well, maybe before I cut it, I'll show you. So it only goes a little bit larger than the pendant. So it'd be something like that. So it just
Oh,
is
I thought she was talking about making like a really big horseshoe for it.
to go inside it. Like as if it was, oh, that it would hang and then the horseshoe would be like this.
Yeah, that's what I thought she meant.
Oh, I wish I had my mandrel. I need something like thick. That's actually okay. I'm trying again. It was experiment one.
Okay.
We shall go to a next experiment.
Let's see. Sylvia, the rice shaped beads I have over here are little wood beads that I wanted to use wood beads for this project because I have a show coming up that I need to design in wood for. So I was like, well, I could just make it during class, but I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. So, but they're wood. I think wood beads are really fun.
I love
I had
working with wood.
done a series at one point in time of like wood beads on suede. That was
Oh,
fun.
pretty.
And Donna, we do see comments from YouTube too. We just sometimes get a little sidetracked. Um, and yes, please
Facebook,
no
we
bead
usually have
box
more folks
spoilers.
watching on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, then other people might be able to answer your comment too, which is can be a good thing. So we're not answering the same questions too many times.
Jill said to use the bead to wrap the loop around.
Use use the bead itself.
Yeah. It looked like it had thick enough walls.
I did have one idea for a really big horseshoe. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I kind of want to try it. Gotta get my wire a bit straighter. I'm going for it here. Let's see. I grabbed this candle and it's very large. It's quite a bit
Oh,
larger,
it's a lot larger, but you could do like the bottom
but
part and then squeeze it like I did.
oh, and make it more of a teardrop.
Mm-hmm.
I love how this is evolving. Here we go. We're going for it. I was just gonna have a mega horseshoe, but I like the idea of shaping it. Okay. So yeah, if I keep going, it'll kind of sit something like that. So maybe if I make it a little bit smaller, oh, that'll be really pretty.
Oh yeah, perfect.
It'll be something like that once I bend the loops in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start trimming off as best evenly as I can until I get about the shape that I want. Oh, Jill, fantastic idea. Even this isn't exactly what you were going for. I thank you for this like little creative idea. And I'm still going to make it the same way. Maybe some bigger loops. I don't think we have ever done I think we just totally. So Rachel squeezed in the horseshoe. I said
Mm-hmm.
bigger. It'd be great if I had my bench block. I'm at home right now, so I don't have all my supplies. But if I was able to hammer this, it'd be able to keep its shape a little better. But
Just bang it with the candle.
this is a wood table. Okay, where are all my good pliers? Okay. I'm gonna try bending my loopies up a bit.
I'm really excited to see what everybody comes up with too.
Version 2 of our lace necklace.
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be something like that when it's strung up if I don't bend it inwards more, which I kind of love. It will have to hang, so it'll be a little lower, but it'll be something like that.
Yeah, if you squeeze it up, then it'll be a little taller. I think. But I don't want you to mess it up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave because I do need to leave enough room for this to be able to hang. I think it'll just work though. All right, I need to wire up this, so let's come up with a way to do that. Use a little bit more of the 18 gauge wire. I'm gonna have to come up with something else for this weird Christmas tree slash hanger.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like a Christmas tree. Oh, there we go.
Let's see how I want to do this. I need to keep it as small of a bail as possible so that it doesn't hang too low. My 18 gauge wire is so kinked up. Okay. All right, let's do a check-in with Rachel.
I've got my wood beads and my Red Creek. I'm not loving
Ooh,
it.
can we have a close-up? There's something cool happening with those pinched in. Ooh, this is fun.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
Well, I love the flow of the drops. And then I feel like the wood could be mixed with anything and like really elevated.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of where I want to go with it. More Red Creek, maybe.
Always more Red Creek, Rachel. You can't go wrong. I'm gonna try to make a makeshift bail for this. I'm thinking I'll just do a big old loop with my bail making pliers. Let's see, best way to do this. I'm gonna just try to estimate it.
Kim says
What?
cast iron will flatten anything. I think Kim and I think alike.
Wait, I've got plenty of cast iron. Should I hit my mega
Just
horseshoe?
hit two pans together. With the horseshoe
Why is
in
this?
between.
Why is this about to happen?
That's great. Ooh, I just had a better idea. Maybe this is a better idea. We'll see. Okay.
Oh, where's your brain going?
Well, I have these Red Creek pendants that I'm thinking maybe I'll just slide one of those in the middle. And I might like it. Maybe that's what was missing.
Oh my gosh, those are from that's like 2014 Sam's Bead Shop.
Are they really that old?
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
You used to sell so much Red Creek.
Oh yeah, well it's because it used to be way more widely available.
So I have like all this older Red Creek. Yes. Okay, I think I like that better. But I think I need more now. I need more little loops.
More.
What do you think?
I really like it. Yeah, that's gorgeous. Absolutely. The color mix is really lovely. The mix of the reds with the green and then the wood kind of brightens it all up. I think you've nailed it.
Yay. Nailed it.
We've now entered the phase of class where Rachel and I are just get so focused on our projects because we are very into them at this point with this invested.
Yes. I think I just need to do one more little loop.
Yeah, that pendant really gives a nice like focal point to all of that.
That's what I was missing.
Can I get your opinion on this? So because of the size of the bail, it's gonna make the pendant lay about there on the horseshoe.
I still kind of like it.
yeah, I am still kind of drawn to it. I don't think I'm gonna
I think it
try
gives
to
it like
futz with
because
it.
it's not the exact same shape, it gives it a little bit more interest.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going with it. Thank you, thank you. I think I'm gonna grab some castor. I'll be right back.
Are you really gonna? Feels like me. This feels like one of those tips that you would be like, don't do this at home. I have a lot of beading tips that are not Sam's Bead Shop approved. So I don't think you can hear me right now.
I can hear you, but I'm not able to respond because the microphone's on my computer. Alrighty, I've got cast iron. This is actually gonna work fine.
You have so much cast iron.
I mean, it's definitely gonna nick up the wire, but I'm just gonna embrace it. Oh my goodness, here we go. I have so much cast iron. Oh, is this working? How lovely is that sound?
I kind of like it.
This is the most fun thing I've ever done on a Sam's Bead Shop class. I'm literally banging pots and pans. I should have a hammer. This is ridiculous. Okay, we're calling you. Okay, it's a little bit more.
You don't have like an actual hammer in your apartment?
Oh, no, we do, but no, I don't want to. No. This is fine. It actually kind of worked. It is a bit more work-hearted. I hope everyone loved that sound. It is now done, so you do not have to experience that anymore. For those that hated that sound. Okay, where were we? Oh my god.
That's amazing. I love that.
Okay, I think I actually want to start stringing something, so because I want a piece. I might add some little, but I'm gonna add some little crystals to my little horseshoes. Ooh, Rachel is so pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, let's add little crystals, which I think is gonna mean I'm gonna need to make a bunch of little knotted head pins. Yeah, it is. Okay. Alrighty. Wanda, hit us with the knotted head pin alert. Here we go. I had to make a whole bunch of these for Nilay's New Year's Eve workshop. So hopefully I should be faster at this now. Because I need to make like at least four to start. Ready. So gotta use my round nose to make my 2 coils. This is our favorite Sarah Lovecraft technique when you don't have a head pin.
Yes, a great technique.
I also want to start torching my own head pins again. I find that very fun.
On your stove?
Nope. This is one of the techniques I said, no, we're not making a class of that, Rachel. I'm sure it's fine, but no, just in case. Alrighty, I have my 2 coils. I can see my start of my first coil, bend at 90 degrees, and then fold it back in. This works with all sorts of gauges. Am I using the thinnest one I have? I'm using 20. I should have used my 22. Let's see how this looks. We're at the 20. All right, I'm coming back in. Yeah, this would be a lot faster with 22. And then I'm gonna grab it with my.
I've never. Did I do it? I think I did do it with 20 gauge on the. Yeah, we did 20 gauge on the whatchamacallit, the flower party bracelet.
It works. I find it works in 24, 26, 24, 22, 20. 18 is when you're going to start having a hard time pulling it. But the thicker gauge is nice because you can actually see the knot really well. So let's see how
Yeah.
that looks. It can actually become part of your design. I really just make this whole head pin for a tiny little crystal though. Do I want to do something more? Because I could also put a little emerald bead. Let's see how that'll look. Hanging. No. Crystal. I don't know what else could go with the crystal that's like small enough that would still look nice. All right, we'll just stick with the crystal. I just want a little accent anyway. And then I'm going to do a simple loop. Wanda says, I think that knotted headband would benefit some work hardening. Wanda. Or you just want me to make a fool out of myself banging pots and pans again?
It's like Sam's band practice.
My housemates are probably like, what is happening? Literally, what is Sam doing now? All right, let's go ahead and get this. Rachel and I are not good at short classes. We never have been. But if you guys are willing to stick with us, we'll keep going for a little bit longer. Rachel looks much closer to completing her piece. Yeah. Ooh, did you get Art Deco?
Yeah.
That's pretty. Wait, now I want more of the Art Deco at the front of the necklace.
In the front of the necklace. This is still the front.
Okay. You know how much I would obsess with the Red Creek Art Deco.
Yeah, I think they're so pretty.
Okay, these are awesome. I love how pointy these flat nose are, Rachel.
Are they marring your wire though?
They're not too bad. I have to do a
groove.
direct comparison. Seems fine. I could always dip them in something, but yeah, they're not that rough. Lori says, keep going. It's Friday night. This is my entertainment, Beats TV. Really?
I was laughing at Wanda says that you should carry cast iron pans in the shop.
Sam's Beach Shop strikes a deal with Lodge. All right. I love how I said I was quick with that. I just spent 5 minutes adding one crystal. I don't even know if I like the look of it. Because it's gonna kind of hang inwards, kind of like that. I think I want the crystal on the horseshoe.
Oh, but I don't know. Will it go?
Well, yeah. How would I make the horseshoe with the crystal in the center? How did you bend? Did you just have to bend yours? How did you bend yours when the Red Creek was on it? Or did you add that after? You did that after the bend.
What?
I was thinking I can't just put a crystal on this because then when I go to bend it with my pliers, I won't be able to grab the wire in the center with my pliers.
Oh yeah, I added the Red Creek after because it's got a big hole.
Okay.
It's a large hole bead, so.
Let's see how big the hole this pyrite is. Oh God, gosh darn it. I need bigger beads. I'm gonna keep experimenting. I've got bronze daisies. Oh no, those have a tiny hole. Oi, 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 oi. Those will even fit on the 20 gauge wire. Okay. Well, I'm kind of exhausted my options, so I'm gonna continue a different direction without the crystal for now. Pamela says, but you can put a brio inside the wire. Oh, you mean like hanging? Oh, even like if I have. I lost my overhead, Rachel.
Uh-oh, it's just me.
I'm
It's
still
just
here. You can
me,
hear me, right?
Mario.
But you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I have to plug my phone back in.
Mhm.
But we shall keep beating in the meantime. We'll just have to imagine what I'm doing. We'll just take a break from me. That's perfectly fine. Okay. If I start stringing, I'll kind of see how I like this.
Sam gets very close
Donna
to
has the
camera.
wire. Donna has the wire whacker from Softlex. I love that thing. I saw Sarah use that.
I've
It
never seen that.
It's basically two big blocks of like what kind of similar to what your nylon jaws are made out of.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the same thing. And you basically put whatever you want to work hard in between it and like hit it.
I've done that before with the metal blocks.
So it's essentially the
'Cause
same
I
thing,
have
but I
two of
think the
those.
idea is
Yeah.
it won't mar it quite as pretty much. It won't really mar it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, how long do I want this necklace to be? I like longer necklaces these days because I usually wear it with like a collared shirt, so then it needs to be able to not get tangled into all that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going for this like brown topaz Softlex. I think it goes nice. It looks really nice with this copper. Donna says, "Did I ever catch my fingers?" I did not injure myself with the cast iron. I suppose that is probably a real possibility.
A real concern.
Truly had not thought about that piece. Alrighty. I was telling my sister that I was like, another one of my ideas was just to have like use these with a whole bunch of seed beads. And she's like, "You want to sit and string seed beads on the class?" I'm like, yes. No, I
She's
don't
probably like,
know.
remember when Rachel did that?
And here I go, trying to string these bronze seed beads as my filler because they're really pretty. Rachel, what's something nice that happened in your day?
I ate guacamole for breakfast.
No, did you?
Yeah.
With chips?
Yeah. That was
Did you
good.
make this said guacamole?
I did not make it this time. I actually make amazing guacamole, but I ordered Mexican food last night and I got some chips and guac with it. So I did not eat it last night. I was too full. But I was thinking about it when I woke up this morning, so I ate it for breakfast.
And how would you rate it as a breakfast item, Rachel?
It was great.
Which one is this?
Wanda
Guac is
says
just
it's
another
another.
version of avocado toast.
Love that. Yes.
I mean, you're not
Basically.
wrong, Wanda. There must have been some peak avocado season recently because there was a moment when like avocados were really cheap over here.
Mm-hmm.
They were like all like $1. They are no longer $1. They're back up to their like $2 to $3.
That's crazy. I thought they were supposed to be cheap in California.
Yeah, you'd think that we grow most of them here. Yeah, you really would think that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to string this up. This is. I'm going to show you in a moment. This is fun. Jill, I love this frame. Alrighty. Oh, I don't have an overhead, but here we go. Phone's turning on. Here is my pendant, Rachel.
Oh, fun.
It's really actually quite pretty. And I
Yeah.
put these little bronze seed beads on this string. Okay, I like where this is heading. I have more ideas now. Alrighty, phone is back. Let's see.
Wanda, I took the Art Deco beads off because I ran out of the wood beads I was using as spacers, and then I couldn't find anything I liked as much as the spacers. But I did like them on here, so I wish I had another. I wonder if I have more wood beads somewhere.
All right, Rachel, just give me one moment. I'm going to switch my audio around.
You are good. Thank you, everyone, for the compliments. I keep forgetting you said you were switching your audio around, so I'm like, it's so quiet. Lori, I'm on my computer and my phone. That's how I do it, at least. I think Sam does it with a computer and a phone too, right?
Yeah, it tends to be easier. Alrighty. I have connected my audio through my phone, so it's definitely going to be different, but I want to be able to keep going. Okay. Oh, beads are flying. Wow, somehow then in a short time, my bead table is no longer pristine and beautiful. Okay. I kind of just love this as a necklace. I just think it's really, like, it actually
Pretty.
just, it's like this very, like, simple, like, I would just wear that as a pendant. Wait, that's really fun. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. But I could leave actually some of this soft flex exposed instead of filling it all up with beads. Okay, I'm gonna do a few more spacers before a leaf. Here I am stringing seed beads. And we'll see what we think of the leaf on it. Alrighty, I feel like I'm glad Jill recommended the idea of this frame because I think this is what I have to contribute towards the evolving of this design because all my little other ideas didn't quite pan out, which is fine. Oh, this is so nice. Rachel, this is just feels like relaxing beading, and this is kind of exactly what I needed right now. Thank you for doing this with me.
I'm happy to be here. I feel like everyone gets to see how many times I take things apart now. How does she do it? She takes it apart all the time. Everything.
I think it's cool to see that process. All right, here's what it is with the leaf a little bit spaced out. Okay, I think that has potential. Unless I want to do a horseshoe first before introducing the leaf. Oh yeah, if I do big horseshoe next to little horseshoe. It actually could look really pretty. It'd be something like that. And then from that, I could hang. There's too many directions. There's too many options, Rachel. Too many options.
Yes, I like it like that, actually.
With
I
the
think
leaf.
that would be really pretty with the leaf hung.
Okay. Darn it. Oh my god. I'm gonna switch over to you for a moment while I finick with this.
Okay.
All right, I gotta wrap up some
And,
leaves. Cynthia says do an upside down horseshoe. How would one do that? I guess you could connect it with like a.
sure.
Robin says, can you frame the leaves with a little horseshoe? Oh, can I just put the leaf? Oh. Actually, maybe. I'm intrigued, Robin. How are you feeling about your piece, Rachel? Are you
I'm
getting
feeling a
towards
little better about it, I think.
your what?
I said I think I'm feeling better about it.
Nice. The deck goes back.
That goes back.
Good call.
And I have these little, I think I got these from you too. They're poppy jasper barrels.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still waiting on my new batch of Red Creek Art Deco. That one's been taking a second. Okay, next option from Robin. Y'all are making this design so much better. I was not initially gonna put the horseshoe in front, but there's it in front. Sorry, I do not have as good lights in this house. Or in back, I guess it could be the wearer's choice. It's actually kind of pretty. It has this nice little accent on either side of the, or I'm doing that. Robin, thank you. I'm going with that. In person looks really nice. Okay. So what I did is either side of that leaf, I put a seed bead. You didn't have to, but it'll keep that nice and centered there. And I'm gonna start working to the other side before I keep adding on. What are you thinking for a clasp for your piece, Rachel?
Lately, I've been doing a lot of chain and then making a hook. I like that because it's an easy adjustable clasp.
Yeah. So you use like an existing chain, and then you'll make your own hook clasp, and that fits into any link of the chain.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Wanda says, my heart is soaring. Love the Art Deco beads. Listen, I love how you
one
make.
of my favorite cuts that you have in the shop.
Liz says, I love how you made your focal. I love that piece from your box so much. I'm just hoarding mine. You got to use yours, Liz. That's something I think I can get more of for the shop later on. You probably have a few extra. Wait, no, we already did the extras. Oh my god, everything's blending together. We've done the extras from the December box last year. Okay. Lori, I'm using medium soft flex in
This is
color.
also medium.
Yeah, which is working well. Medium is kind of a nice standard. When I started out mostly using their fine because I had their satin silver and fine, which is kind of like the most kind of go-to one I've noticed. But fine and medium can both be used in most projects. If you have some beads with much smaller drill holes, that's when you're going to need an extra fine. And if you're using really heavy beads, go for like a large. Hermie says, do you like using soft flex for bracelets? Let me throw that question at you, Rachel.
Yeah, I use soft flex for bracelets.
Yeah, I don't know what else I would use. Yeah, soft flex is my go-to string wire also, so definitely for bracelets as well. I'm definitely in like a slow design mode. I'm like not in any rush to like throw this piece together. I'm just like seeing how each element adds, and I really like this. You know, I feel like I could add pretty much anything, and it would be really pretty. I like this as the focal point of this piece. Oh my god! Imagine if this big horseshoe had like I had put things on it. That would be pretty with wrapped seed beads, just on the largest one. That I could still add
Yeah,
if I'm feeling ambitious in the middle of the night.
in the middle of the night.
Just wake up thinking about this necklace. Be like, you know what that needs? More seed beads. Let's see how Rachel's pieces. Oh my gosh. Your piece is all about the natural elements.
Yeah. Oh, oops.
Wanda says it has
I
a
cut my
woodsy.
soft flex too short.
No.
We're gonna try and make it work.
Sometimes you can make it. Sometimes you can do it.
I'm gonna do my best.
Can you just shorten your piece like a couple beads?
That would be quitting.
Or adjusting.
That's true. I could have shortened it by a couple beads. I don't know. Yeah, it could be shortened.
I've been really drawn to seed beaded chains lately. And by that, I don't even mean like wire wrapped. I just mean literally where seed beads are the strand of a piece. I've been seeing lots of folks wearing them. Like, that makes a lot of sense because it's just not, it makes a piece feel a little daintier and it makes it a little bit more versatile to wear.
Like a rope?
Yeah. I mean, just, yeah, essentially literally just a long string of seed beads and then a few other beads and a pendant. And like, that's the necklace. And it's actually, I was like, wait, that's really pretty. Especially when like there's seed bead, like a nice seed bead all around like a nice gem focal or something like that.
Oh no.
Yes.
I have made an error.
No, in your what happened?
I forgot to take the extra beads off this side and I just crimped it. So now I gotta see maybe if I can. Oh, cool. This end beads fit right over the crimp. Now I gotta see if I can fit the same amount of beads on the other side. Otherwise, we're gonna have to adjust again.
Okay, I'm having more ideas. And so Gatan says, I got my B-box today. The temperature is dropping to -1 tonight. Oh gosh, how appropriate. Are you saying how appropriate because it means tomorrow you get to have a bead day? I hope it does. Okay, I'm having a couple ideas as I'm losing all my natural light from outside. So I'm doing like 7 of the bronze seed beads as spacers, kind of what I was talking about. And then I'm thinking about mixing in the copper coins. I feel like it fits this brown and green palette I have going. And those will kind of be the main beads of this whole piece. Do you approve? I need some Rachel Mallis approval.
One more time.
So I'm thinking since we have our teals and browns, the last piece I think element I want to include is maybe some of the copper coins, and that's going to be my bead palette for this necklace.
I think it's pretty. I think that you should switch where the copper coin is with the other one and like taper it.
Well, I'm going to put another emerald cathedral on the other side of it to kind of give this to like to have a, that's my image is that this will be like bookended by an emerald on either side.
Okay.
I'm gonna see how it looks before I start switching it. But you were imagining like it would go from larger to that then to smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm defying the odds, Rachel. I'm going to you because you have good lighting and we like you. Okay, now I have to get lights for my house too. Oh, jeez.
I have so many lights on right now. It's insane.
Those new studio lights for the live sale are my new favorite thing. They weren't even that expensive. They're cheaper than like aught lights.
All lights are so expensive.
I know. Honestly, those studio lights would be great for pretty much any beater. They're just basically a giant softbox. It's nice because they have a diffusion panel, so they don't create harsh shadows. All right, what did you end up doing, Rachel?
I ended up being able to crimp it. My loops are a little bit of a different size, but I might just roll with it. Either that or I will restring it later. Here's the piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in. I want to see your beautiful work. Look at those stones. Oh my goodness. So we've got Red Creek wood. We've got our horseshoe technique, but evolved into a new pinch. And we've got oxidized sterling wire. I love it.
And poppy jasper.
And poppy jasper. Well, that's fun. This is very Rachel Mallis.
Thank you.
I think you nailed it, Rachel.
Yeah, every time you say that, I think of that like show on Netflix where they make desserts, but they don't actually nail it. They do a really bad job.
Is that the show with Nicole Byers?
Yes.
I've been listening to her podcast a lot. She's funny.
She's funny. I don't love that show. I feel like they set them up for failure, but
I've never seen it. I don't. Is that I don't even know if that's a popular show. I feel like I've definitely heard people talk about it. Is it actually? I just can't. I can't. I don't know if I'd be that entertained watching someone like not do. Yeah, they are being set up right. They're giving them these like without instructions, these crazy hard projects. Yeah, I don't know if I'd really like that.
But these kids I used to babysit for like loved it. So.
What do you say?
Kids love it. I used to babysit for these kids and they like loved it. So we'd watch it sometimes.
Well, maybe that's the target demographic. Alrighty, here is where my necklace is at. So I've just been stringing up this side to kind of see where I want to go with it. I'm going to do another, mini horseshoe with a leaf again. I think this horseshoe and leaf is going to be my combo for this necklace. I am finding to fill this gap, it's definitely easier just to string on separately, and I'll show what I mean in a second. So I'm going to do my seed bead and my leaf and my seed bead, and then just string that back through instead of trying to poke it through. Does that make sense of what the difference I was talking about? Probably not. I was trying to like poke it through while holding everything in place, and it was nearly impossible.
Oh.
So that was just made it a little easier. to do that. All right, I'm loving where this is heading. I'm sorry, there's so much on my
Beautiful.
bead board you can't even see it, but I'm loving it. Alrighty, we're at, oh my god, we're an hour and a half in, Rachel.
Yeah.
I think we're at a pretty good stopping point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to finish up this necklace. I'm going before a little. Me and my friend are having dinner, so might as well wear a new
Ooh.
necklace. Make it feel special. Thank you so much for beading with me, Rachel. This has been really relaxing for me. I hope it's been nice to watch.
Yeah.
And I hope it gets folks inspired. Please, 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 please show us what you make. This is our first class of the year, so we'd love to hear.
Yeah, we love seeing what you make.
It's really nice to see folks get inspired. And of course, this was a different type of class. We revisited a technique and then kind of each did a make on the fly, which is one of my ideas for this year is like, can we kind of evolve existing techniques in ways that excite us? So I'm curious what you thought of that. It doesn't always need to be an hour and a half. We just weren't in a rush today. So I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see yours finished. You
Me
can
too.
have Jesse take a picture.
If it ever comes back to the office, I might just add it to my jewelry collection here. Brooke says, fun way to start the year. Absolutely. Alrighty, Rachel and I are going to sign off. It is getting late over in the East Coast for her, and it's almost dinner time here. So good night, everyone. Happy beading. And I'm looking forward to starting a new year of beading with all of you.
Woot woot.
Woot woot. All right, bye everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Bye, Rachel.